I'm Judy Stiles. Thank you for joining us this week on Newsmakers. Well, many people think college campuses are quiet places in the summer. In many aspects that's true, but if you look at the athletic department, a lot's been happening on campus as well as preparing for the fall semester. Joining us today from Missouri Southern Athletics, we have Justin Maskus and Randon Coffey. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
It has been kind of a busy summer. When I've driven past the stadium or past the Leggett and Platt, there's always seems to be you've had camps and activities going on this summer.
It's always a busy place. You know, all of our coaches typically have camps at various different times. I know we are doing a volleyball camp right now, and we had football camps earlier in the month, as well as basketball, and track and field even does a few camps as well.
So the camps are, obviously the coaches are involved in meeting people in the community and doing that, bringing youngsters and youth in and young people from the community.
Yeah, and you know, some of the coaches, we even, you know, it's pretty commonplace in college sports. They use the camps as kind of a recruiting tool as well, because you see a lot of college age or up and coming college age talent, and they come to your camp, and that's how sometimes you get that talent. So especially with football, you see that a lot in there as well.
So they're benefiting by recruiting. Also, the athletes are learning some new things and training. Do you have your current athletes working with the players that come to these camps as well?
Sometimes it does, yeah.
So good interaction that way, tying everything together. Well, I know both of you work behind the scenes in athletics, but people are familiar, I'm sure, with you. They've seen you throughout the years. I imagine both of you have been very busy this summer getting ready for the upcoming seasons.
You know, to an extent, you know, a lot of times we use the summer as a time to kind of wind down a little bit. For me, I know it gets a little bit easier when we're not dealing with events that happen, you know, 2, 3, 4 times a week. But there's still a lot of prep work that gets done in the summer, and you know, sometimes we have to work with other kinds of camps or other kinds of events that come onto our campus as well.
Now, Randon, with athletic marketing, that's probably something that a lot of work goes in place before you have that first game where everything's going to come together.
Yeah, summer is definitely the busy time for me. Seems like kind of game days and things are a little bit easier and just kind of executing what you've planned. So from a sponsorship standpoint, this is the time that we renew a lot of our sponsorship agreements with local businesses as well as marketing. And so we're getting ready for commercials and billboards and posters and print materials, you know, all that are getting designed and getting ready to roll out here in the next few weeks.
So when everybody comes back, it's not only come back to school, but come back to the athletic events. And
yeah, definitely. Once we get back, it's 2 weeks until football and soccer and volleyball all get rolling.
Well, I know one thing we hear about in the summer is linebackers, and I think I've already heard promotions, seen it on your website and so forth. So let's talk a little bit about the Linebackers Program for people who might not be familiar with that.
So the Linebackers, they started back in the 60s as a way to promote the athletics department and to support them financially. And ever since that time, it's grown and expanded. And this past year, we had a little under 300 members as part of that organization. And so they do team feeds and social gatherings and get-togethers. They have special events where they get to meet with players and coaches. It's just a great opportunity for individuals that not only want to support athletics, but maybe want to get a little bit more of an inside scoop on what's going on in the department. And so it's a great organization. We've been signing people up since the 1st of June, and signups have gone great so far. People are really excited for football to get going, and a lot of anticipation for even basketball and baseball down the road as well. And so it's just been a great time for people to get signed up, and we'll take signups all the way until Christmas. As people want to get in and you know, make sure they don't miss out on any of the spring sports too.
Well, I know you have a website that explains a lot of the details, but there's different levels or ways that people can participate as a linebacker.
Yep. If you know, we understand it's not always money, and so you know, people can't do thousands of dollars, but we have a membership level that starts at $100, and people can break it up monthly, and so they can start there and do as much as $10 a month, all the way to $10,000 if somebody wanted to be a $10,000 level. And you know, there's a lot of different benefits, and whether it's parking benefits or apparel, or just kind of special invites to events with the athletic director or a coach. But there's just a ton of different perks, you know, kind of tailored to what people are interested in. And so we just encourage people to be involved. You know, it's a growing university and a growing athletics department, and so it's a great time to just support us and be on board for all the exciting things that are coming.
Now, one thing I know I've heard a lot about in the last couple of years is working with children. The Rory's Club, Cub Club, you know, that's an aspect that you're getting an opportunity for these youngsters to come to campus and participate in
Yeah,
involved.
so a couple years ago we implemented the kids 12 and under free for all of our sporting events, and we've just gotten great remarks from that from the community and from parents. And it's an opportunity where they don't have to spend a lot of money just to bring if they've got a big family, they're not spending a ton to bring those kids. And the Cub Club is a great way to kind of supplement that and give some even better perks. And so they get t-shirts. We have inflatables at all of our home football and basketball games, and so they get free access to that. Free popcorn at games. They get invited to come down and high five the players. We'll do some different activities. We'll do like a Rory's birthday party in basketball season, and a clinic in the springtime. And so the Cub Club's just an awesome way for kids, whether they can go to the games and see it, but for $15 a year, they get some really special perks and things that between the t-shirt and popcorn and Kids Zone, you're going to save some money actually if you come to multiple games anyways. So we had just a little under 100 members of the Cub Club last year, and we're hoping to be over 100 this year.
It sounds like you're really trying to encourage family events when you come to athletic events. Bring the family.
Absolutely.
Together. Well, Justin, I know on the media relations side, I've seen news releases you've put out as teams sign players or athletes and so forth. So you've been keeping pace as the rosters change throughout the summer.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to have an addition, from the last 2 years, we've really worked hard in bringing in more student athletes to our programs. And we've gone from about 328 to about 350 is what it averaged from 2-3 years ago, and this year we're expecting around 460 to 480. Wow. And so you're seeing an increase of at least 150 throughout our programs. We're doing that by increasing numbers in almost all of the sports, specifically in football. You'll see an increase from a normal roster of 88 to 90 to about 150.
So you have a large number of young men coming out for football and participating.
Absolutely, and so there's a lot of new faces that you'll get to see this next year. We'll have some new coaches on staff as well this year, and we've got a pretty impressive schedule. I know the conference that we're in, the MIAA, is one of the best in Division II. It rivals even some Division I conferences as well, and we've got 5 home games this year as opposed to the 6 that we had last year. So we'll play 5 in the home and 6 on the road.
And when you play games, you really don't have a non-conference game. You start off with we're playing a rival.
Yeah, we've got 12 football playing schools in our league, so with an 11-game schedule, that leads it to pretty much just nothing but conference games.
Now, your first game this year is a night game on a weekday.
It is. It's a Thursday night game on August 31st against Fort Hays State. Typically in college football, they've used those first week or two to be Thursday night games. It used to be just the first week, but now it's pretty much gone to each team wants a Thursday night home game. So we'll start up on Thursday night on August 31st against Fort Hays, and we've also got games on September 16th at home against Emporia State, on September 30th against Nebraska Kearney. Then we have October 21st against Central Oklahoma, and then November 4th against Lindenwood.
Okay, so those 5 games spread throughout the 3 months of active playing and tying things together. Night games early on, I know, are popular with the fans because it's not so hot watching those games.
Well, it's also popular with the players. It's a safety concern. You typically will get really warm in that, still in late August, early September. It's still warm down here, and so it's a chance to cool the temperatures and also get a chance to get some more fans to come out later in the game. You can have them still have their Saturdays to have fun as a family and then come out later in the night.
So it's designed so people can get off work, bring the family, come to the game, and when they get to the game, I know there's always a lot of activities that probably fall right into the marketing side that you can do more than just watch the game while you're there.
Yeah, absolutely. Sports now it's just as much entertainment as, just the game on the field. And so people want to come and have a great time for 3 hours. And so with the first football game being a night game, we are going to do a big fireworks show after the game. And so just kind of a fun way to kick things off for the 2017 season. We also are going to be doing cowbells, and so we have 3 noisemakers that are allowed by the MIAA, thundersticks, clappers, and cowbells. And so we're going to do cowbells. We're going to give 1,000 away to make it really loud and fun.
Make some noise in
yeah, no doubt. So we're gonna do that for the first game, and we've got some other little things in terms of pregame. We're going to up the production a little bit for making it a little bit better fan experience. And so we're really excited for that August 31st, that Thursday night home opener there.
Now, some of the people who are watching may be curious, well, the team, how much time do they have to prepare? We're recording this show in July. When do the players actually put on the pads and start practicing for this August 31st game?
They'll report first week of August. So August, I think it's 4th is when they're 6th. August 6th is when they're reporting. And they've got to get 21 practices in, and the NCAA, used to be that two-a-days were very common, you know, and it got to be the last couple of years that there's a structure where you can only go so many days without pads, so many days with pads, and with full contact, even when you have pads on. And then they started limiting two-a-days to 3 per preseason, and now they've completely got rid of 2 days at every single level of college football. So it's to get in the total number of practices that we need to, we're actually reporting about a week earlier than normal.
So there'll be 150 players, though, on that football team coming together. So imagine that's been an interesting challenge for the coaches. You're trying to determine positions and players and who's going to play, who's going to be redshirted.
But I don't think you're going to find a coach that won't argue with having depth as a good thing. So
anything in particular people ask you about the upcoming football season? You know, what's to look forward for the team and generalizations?
You know, I don't think they haven't really
promoted anything yet.
Well, I mean, you know, we've got some experience coming back at our skilled positions. Our running backs, receivers, and quarterbacks are all coming back from last year. It's going to be a young team. Coach Johnson will admit to that. But, you know, we do have a lot of experience coming back.
Well, that's good. Always bring people back that recognize the players as well for those fans who are coming in. But football's not the only fall sport.
Correct.
I mean, you have other athletes who will be coming back to campus.
Yes, we have 5 sports technically if you count men's and women's sports in the fall. You've got football, women's volleyball, women's soccer, and then men's and women's cross country as well. And then golf actually plays half of their season in the fall as well. They do a season in the fall, then they break for winter and have a season in the spring. The volleyball team they've got an early season tournament here actually in Joplin. They'll play that on the weekend of the 8th and 9th of September, and then they start up conference play on November 22nd. Women's soccer will start September 1st with their first home game against Rockhurst.
So pretty much about the time football starts its game, everybody else is getting
you've
ready
got
for their
a
competition.
football game on the 31st, you've got a soccer game on the 1st, and another soccer game on the 3rd. So it's right back to back.
Now, for your office in dealing with the media relations, you're putting together all the media materials, everything from the book telling us who the players are to the statistics. That's probably a job in itself, getting ready for this.
It is, and you know, it's with the advent of the internet, it's become a little bit easier, and you put more things online instead of printing them out. It's a little bit easier to get stats and information out, you know, with email and that, and it's more of become an instant, you know, you have an instant need for information. So, you know, a little bit less working on the printed stuff, a little bit more work having to put out graphics, put out social media type stuff, and getting stuff out as quickly as possible.
I know we showed briefly the website, which is one aspect of getting the word out. You also have Facebook and other types of ways to reach people.
Yeah, we operate on almost all of the social media platforms. We have Facebook, we have Instagram, Twitter as well, and you know, we have a fairly good following on there. We're actually, you know, one of the few schools in our league that have a verified Facebook and a Twitter account, which is pretty interesting.
So, and apps, everybody has their phone nowadays, so you have information in the palm of people's hands as well.
Yeah, last year we started a mobile app that was just designed to help fans, whether they're at the stadium or can't make it to the game, to stay informed and also have a better experience at the game. And so last year we started it in October and had a contest between us and Pitt State, because we both launched them the same week, of who could get the most downloads, and we were the one that got the most downloads during that time. And right now we have about 1,100 people that have downloaded the mobile app within 8 months, and so we're really proud of it. It's a great product for people that they can stay up to date. They can look at what's the concession stand got for food today, where are the bathrooms at the football stadium, and so a lot of just information of just, if you've never been to a game before, it's a great way to just extra information or listen to the game or watch the game on their phones. But it's MSSU Lions Go, and it's just an easy way for fans. It's a free mobile app. We will do some different promotions like, hey, show your mobile app at the concession stand, you get a free hot dog or something. And so it's a great way for people to kind of get a little bit extra insight of what's going on with the team and also just have a great experience at the stadium. So MSSU Lions Go, and we always encourage people to download that if they're wanting more information about the teams.
So if they happen to be out of town, they can't make it to the game, that app they can show almost play-by-play what's happening at the game.
Yeah, you'll see live stats funneled through the app, and then they also have links for live audio as well.
So they can follow the team even if they're not here, able to do that and tying that together. So communicating, reaching out to the fans, promotions. I know you've mentioned the first game. You have a lot of other things planned throughout the year as well.
Yeah, so we did a vote this past summer of picking a promotion. And so while we're taping this, we actually don't know what the promotion is going to be.
Still to be decided.
But when it's aired, we'll know at that point. So we just opened it up to the fans and we said, September 16th is your night, whatever you want to do. Here's a couple ideas that we think it would be great to implement that would be fun for people, and gave them a little bit of guidance and then just let them run with it. So we gave them 3 options, and then we had a tie actually when the vote ended, and so we had to open it back up for 2 options
runoff,
now.
right?
And we'll find out what the fans want to do and run with it. So the 2 options that they got down to were date night, which is going to be couples games, and we'll do a blanket giveaway. We'll do kind of a contest of who's the oldest couple in the crowd, or bacon night, and we're going to give free bacon away. And there's a company that makes stress bacon, which is like a stress ball but in the shape of bacon. And then we'll do some fun like social media contests and things with it. So, we just wanted to make it fun and, different for the fans. Then September 30th is homecoming, and so we'll do kind of a pride giveaway. We've got Lions car decals that we can give. So just the lion head, a nice sticker that you can put on your car, and when you drive around Joplin or the 4 states or wherever, you can see that. Our pink game is October 21st against UCO, and so we'll work with our organizations on campus like the Zetas, who do a lot of pink initiatives, as well as some local organizations like Hope for You, the hospitals here locally, and just raise awareness for cancer and breast cancer. And then the last game of the year is our senior day against Lindenwood, and it's also our military appreciation day. It's the week before Veterans Day. And so November 4th, we will allow all active or former military members who have their ID, they can show that at the gate, and we'll give them a free ticket for showing that, and we just appreciate their service. So it'll be a really busy fall with football, and we'll do some different things at volleyball and soccer as well, to encourage student participation and give those fans that come out a treat, as well as the players. They love seeing, support and things at their games as well. And so we'll do some fun giveaways and contests that'll be really fun at soccer and volleyball. Yeah.
Now you mentioned students. For people who are watching, if they are a student, Missouri Southern allows students to attend the games free of charge, which is one of the nice benefits of being a student here.
We're one of the only schools in the MIAA that don't have a fee or any sort of thing for the students, and it's a great benefit for students to be able to just come and show your ID, and you get in for free to all of our sporting events. And so we always encourage students. We think we have a really great product. We get a ton of great feedback from people of how much fun they have at games, and so we love the students. They make the atmosphere fun and enjoyable and loud and crazy, and so we're always trying to encourage students to come. And it's a challenge, no doubt about it. In the age of Netflix and the internet and video games, there's tons of ways for them to fill their time up nowadays.
Right.
And we're really proud that we have great student attendance at all of our home events, and they really support our teams.
And of course, they're supporting their peers, because we don't have student athletes, the students who are competing on the field, so they're friends in the classroom.
Yeah, a lot of times you see that. You see friends, and it's interesting where you can go and watch a game on Saturday or whenever it might be, and then on Monday you're actually in the same class with some of the people that are playing on the field. So you see a lot of friends and supporting those, and you also see a lot of our student athletes supporting the other student athletes as well.
Go to the other games when they're not playing and so forth.
Yeah.
Now, student athlete perspective, I know that's something that the athletic program's always been proud of, the fact that they are students first, and you actually recognize some of the teams because of their academic accomplishments each year.
Yeah, every year our conference does what they call an academic honor roll, and they honor everyone in the league that has a 3.0 GPA or higher. This year we had over 175 of our 350 plus student athletes that had that, and then they have different levels where they have 3.5 or higher, and then they also have the President's Award, which is the 4.0 or higher as well. So we had almost 20 with cumulative 4.0 GPAs right now, and 2 or 3 of them actually graduated this past.
So they made it through their 4 years of school as an athlete. 4.0,
which is an impressive compliment. So I mean, it's impressive to say it, period, but knowing that you go through and you devote that much time to athletics as well. So.
And I've heard that student athletes really learn about budgeting time, priorities, really a lot of those things that would play into their future success in jobs and so forth.
Yeah,
as well.
it's you see a lot of times where your student athletes on campus, and granted they have a little bit more devoted to them to help teach about time management as well. But you see a lot of times where the student athlete GPA is much higher compared to the actual general student population, and it is in this case as well here.
Now, some of the viewers who are watching might wonder, well, we have so many athletes, are we giving away tons of scholarships? So it's not every student, necessarily athlete, has a scholarship following them into these.
No, and I mean, when I talked about increasing the student athletes by 150 or so, that wasn't an increase in scholarships as well. That all that that's new students coming to Missouri Southern, for the most part, paying their own way. We have scholarships. We give them out. We give out the max amount of scholarships in 5 of our sports, and we're working to give out the max amount that we can at NCAA levels and our other sports as well. But even at that, the Division II level, say you have 150 players on a football team, the max you can give out is 36 scholarships.
So they're limited to.
Yeah, so you got 150 players, but only 36 scholarships. So you funnel that money out over those players.
Now, one thing that I've read this summer about is basketball taking a new twist with the junior varsity teams.
Yeah, we're calling it kind of a developmental team, and basically what you'll have 17, 18 players that are all new to Missouri Southern, and those players will be non-scholarship, but they'll take on teams that are either from the junior college or the NAIA rank, and it'll be a way for some student athletes that may not have got a chance to play at the Division II level or whatever to come in and play collegiately. You're playing with a team, you're being coached by a college coach, you're playing against other college athletes. And, and we're not going to turn back anybody that shows some talent level that's good enough to make the jump up.
So a lot of times they come out of high school, but they're not going to participate in the college sports. It gives them the opportunity to do that and try through that. Well, I know something each fall we hear about is you have a Hall of Fame recognition for athletes. And tell us a little bit about what we can look forward to this fall.
September 16th is our Hall of Fame game, 6 p.m. against Emporia State. We'll announce, we'll be releasing, or we have released by the time this comes out, our Hall of Fame class. And it includes 4 members this year. And we've got Joey Ballard, who was a baseball and football player. Jim Baranowski was a baseball player, late 80s, and then Michelle Heimerman was a track and field athlete, and then Wayne Harrell, who was a professor on campus for a long time. He was the first faculty athletic rep that we had when we went to Division II back in '89, and he was also the marching band director for a long time as well, so he'll go in as well. That'll all take place on September 16th, and it's going to be a busy day because we've got the cross-country stampede earlier in the day. And that will be going on while this ceremony is actually going on, because that goes on almost till 1 o'clock in the afternoon. This ceremony will be at 11 a.m. on that Saturday. They've got a social the night prior as well. And then later on that night at halftime, they'll officially get inducted.
Recognize them. And then these are the people that we see when we go into Liggett and Platt, the pictures on the wall that permanently.
And then we've got a nice, if you haven't been over to our in-zone facility, we've got a nice fancy touchscreen display over there that's, that deals with all of our Hall of Fame members.
The end zone facility has seen a lot of use since it came in a couple of years ago. It's not just there on football weekends.
No, and it's been being used by the community as well as our campus as well. I mean, we've got some fairly large rooms over there, and pretty much any given day of the week, you're going to see something going on in one of those rooms.
So it's become a community tie on many aspects for Missouri Southern. Well, starting the season, I know, Randon, you have usually a kickoff each year to get everybody out. The team practices, and they kind of have a day to show what they can do before the season kicks off. Tell us about the fall kickoff this year.
Yeah, so August 26th, it's on a Saturday evening at 6 o'clock at the stadium. We'll be up there, and there'll be a bunch of different activities. They'll have food trucks and bounce houses going on. The football team will be out there practicing. We'll be doing autographs for all of our sports teams in the fall for soccer, volleyball, cross country. We'll be out there as well. And so it'll just be a nice evening for people to come out. It's free to the public just to come out and watch and be on campus, see what the football team's going to look like, get autographs, get posters. We'll also be passing out some apparel for linebackers, be doing some helping with them if they've got any questions or anything, because we're at that point, 6 days away from football starting.
First game.
So yeah, it'll just be a great opportunity for people to come out. You don't have to pay like a normal football game. You get to still be inside the stadium and see what's going on, and hopefully get excited for what will be this fall.
Well, something else that's coming up this fall is some streaming of the games for football that people can watch through their apps, through their computers and laptops and so forth.
Yeah, the MIAA has streamed games for quite some time now, going on probably close to 10 years now. They've with the different types of services, and starting this fall, we're going to be going with a new streaming company called Blue Frame Technology. It's based out of Lexington, Kentucky, and they've done few different college conferences. They've primarily been really integrated with the Great Lakes Valley Conference, and have done their streaming. But In with that, we've also seen an investment by the university in all of our hardware and technology
to
here.
provide the video for this
exactly.
service,
And so not only is it going to be, you're going to see an HD product, a little bit different product on the screen, you're going to see an enhanced teaching experience that you guys will get to get for the students here. And it's going to be I think it's going to be much improved, because what they're also offering is not only are you going to be watching on your device or your computer, but they also offer what they call over-the-top applications. So they're going to have, the conference will have an app with Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, and then something else I can't remember. But anyway, you'll have those apps. So just like you go in and if you stream your TV, if you have the YouTube app or something like that, you'll be able to find that app and watch it directly on your TV. And that has been one of the things that some of our fans have asked, is how do we get it from our computer to the TV or our tablet to the TV? Well, now if they've got those apps, or if they've got a smart TV, all they have to go to is that app, and they'll be able to watch it directly in HD right there.
So really keeping change with technology and how people are
Absolutely.
viewing and participating in sports today and tying it together.
And one new thing too you'll see actually this year is we have streamed football and men's and women's basketball. We'll also start to stream volleyball this year.
Okay, so other additional opportunities for sports and so forth. Well, as we kind of wrap things up, what do you both enjoy the most about working with athletics? I mean, we're still, haven't had that first kickoff, you haven't had the, everything starting, but as you're looking toward the season, what do you enjoy the most? Randon?
I've just always loved sports. Growing up, it was a passion of mine, and when probably junior high on, I knew that sports was what I wanted to do and be around athletes. And I just love the energy of walking into a stadium, and the fans are excited, and there's just an anticipation in the air. And getting to be on the backside of it's fun, because you get to kind of see how it operates, and you kind of get to create some of those moments for people. If you hit the right music or you hit the right promotion at times, it can really help fans get more engaged and more excited about what's going on in the field. And I just love working with the student athletes. And I am lucky enough to be the advisor for our Student Athlete Advisory Council. And they just do a great job of doing canned food drives and raising money for Make-A-Wish. And whether, they're doing just random community service at events. And so just to be part of 18 to 22-year-olds helping so many people in the area and getting to watch them perform and do what they love to do is just a great honor. And so that's kind of why I've started in sports, and I've loved it so much.
I know, Justin, you've been working in sports for quite a while. You probably could echo a lot of those same feelings.
Yeah, it's the old adage we use, we get paid to watch sports. And so that's one thing. But me, I love just the interaction with the student athletes. I get to see a lot of student athletes come through. I get to tell their stories. I become friends with them. I've actually been to a couple different weddings of a pair of our student athletes. I've got, my daughter goes to the same daycare as the daughter of one of our former student athletes right now.
So you see them throughout their life.
Yeah, and it's a growing experience. So it's just, I love being involved in their lives and seeing them, move on to what they want to do.
Well, I'd like to thank both of you for coming today and sharing some information, invite fans to come out and cheer on the Lions this year. And once again, your Facebook page, your website, there's lots of ways to find out if they need more details.
Yes, thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. And I'd like to thank you for joining us this week on Newsmakers. I'm Judy Stiles. Hope you can join us again next week at the same time on the station. We'll see you then.